Hello and welcome to this tutorial about Apple II programming. The language used here is BASIC. BASIC is an acronym for Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. The Apple II was originally introduced in 1977. Now I'll start off with something very simple. Run, and it says hello world. Now the first thing there is a line number 10, so they're usually in increments of 10, so the next one will be 20, then 30. Print is the keyword, and the statement altogether is a print statement. The quotation marks are the delimiters, and hello world are the words to be put onto the screen. So catalog. It's not on the disk yet, so what we'll do is we'll save it as hworld, and now when I type in catalog, it'll appear at the end of the list there. Okay, the next program we're going to be looking at is Square. Which is a number squarer. Now, list. The first thing there is an input statement which requests a number for the user to square. X is a variable. Now, just think of a variable as being a name that has within it a piece of information, or the name represents the information. So X is the name, and it holds on to a number. At line 20 there's x times x, so let's run it and type in 64. The square of 64 is 4096. Run it again just to show that it's variable. 8 is 64, so okay, the next program here is try-text, which is short for triangle text. In the first line it requests the user string. Now, any variable with a $sign at the end is a string. At line 20 there's the beginning of a for loop, so it'll go through the numbers, however long the string is, it'll repeat the loop for that, the amount of letters that are in the string, and then it goes from the left to it gets to the leftmost letter, and then adds one letter to form a triangle. So let's run it. So there's hello YouTube. We'll run it again. And Monkey Magic was here. Bit of a silly thing to say. Alright, the next program we'll look at is running average. Load. Okay, at line 5 there's the home keyword, which is a bit like CLS in later versions of BASIC. Then at line 10 the user number is set to 0. At line 20 the name is printed onto the screen. At line 30 the loop of the program starts, and it asks for numbers which are calculated into an average. At line 40 CN, which is short for count, has 1 added to it. At line 50 the total equals the total plus the user number, and the total is like a combination of all their numbers basically. At line 60 it prints the total divided by the count, so it divides all of their numbers by how many numbers there were and puts it on the screen. And if user number was greater than or equal to 0, then go to 30, so it just loops. So run. (2012) this year, and the average is 2006 point, and 1/3. So -1 to stop. Run. 10, 20 should be 15, 0 back to 10, and 0 7.5, -1 to quit. Unit converter. Okay, this unit converter converts from Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit using textbook formulas. So at the top there's home, then the name, then the main input, and then it inputs the unit which they want to convert, and then X and Y are converted to Fahrenheit and Celsius. I'm not sure in which order, but if they chose F for Fahrenheit, then it prints Celsius onto the screen and Celsius to Fahrenheit. So let's run it. Fahrenheit to Celsius. 72 is 22.222. Run it again. Celsius. 22.2222 is almost 72. So it appears to be working. Okay, the last program here is calculator. Load. This is longer than the other programs, which is why I saved it until last. So list 10 to 70. Okay, at the top there is the name gets printed onto the screen. They input the first number, which is an operand, and then they enter the operator, and depending on whether the length of their operator was less than 2, it requests a second number, because some of those operators only need one number, like the square, the cosine, tan. So I'll list the rest of it here. So if their operator is plus, it puts on the screen using the print keyword the first number plus the second number, and that's how the arithmetic works there. Now with the trigonometry, it's radians of their number 1 is figured out there in line 110, but in line 120 it still uses number 1 instead of the radians, because it's square root. And in line 130 it figures out cos using an equation there, which involves sine, and then with in line 140 sine is figured out, and the same thing with tan there. So let's run it. 4 plus 4 is 8. Run it again. 8 times 8. Oh, I made a mistake. 8 times 8 is 64. Now run it again. 64 square root is 8. Run it again. 45 degrees cos is that. 45 degrees sine should be the same thing. And there it is. It's a couple of, it's a fraction off, but that's okay. Alright, well, thank you for watching.